They tell you that love is the highest virtue, that to be adored, to be embraced, to be accepted by all is the peak of human existence, that life's greatest achievement is to be cherished, to be welcomed into the warm arms of approval. But they do not tell you the cost. They do not tell you what you must trade, what you must sacrifice, what you must kill within yourself to be truly loved by the masses. Because love, as they define it, is not admiration. It is not respect. It is submission. It is the slow and steady death of individuality, the erosion of sharp edges, the dulling of fire. To be loved is to be tamed, and I would rather be hated than loved. When they love you, they do not love you. They love the version of you that serves them, the version that agrees, that conforms, that makes them comfortable. They do not love the man who speaks his mind, who moves against the tide, who refuses to kneel. That man is dangerous. That man cannot be controlled. And so, they will love you only to the extent that you remain useful. Step outside their expectations, defy the script they have written for you, and that love will turn cold in an instant. The same lips that praised you will sneer. The same hands that embraced you will cast you aside. Love is a leash, and the moment you outgrow it, they will tighten the chain. Hatred, on the other hand, is honest. When they hate you, they do not pretend to accept you. They do not offer hollow kindness, do not feed you lies wrapped in honey. They show you exactly where they stand, exactly what they fear. Hatred is respect in disguise. It is the unwilling admission that you matter, that you cannot be ignored, that you are a force too great to be dismissed. They hate you because you disrupt their illusion of control, because you force them to question their own complacency, because you remind them of the chains they willingly wear. That hatred is pure. It is raw. It is real. And I would rather be despised for my truth than adored for a lie. Look at the world's greatest figures, the ones who carved their names into history. Were they loved? Number they were feared. They were hated. They were ridiculed, attacked, demonized in their time, because they refused to be what was expected of them. They refused to be loved in exchange for obedience. They chose greatness over comfort, impact over approval, reality over illusion. And when they were gone, the same voices that cursed them rewrote history to praise them. Because that is the final act of the weak, to love only when it is safe to do so. They want you to be loved because they want you to be weak. Because to be loved by them, by the crowd, by the masses, by the ones who fear anything that does not mirror them, is to be owned. They will smother you in their adoration, drown you in their expectations, strip you of your autonomy, piece by piece, until nothing remains but what they have allowed. You will smile on command, speak the words they approve of, move only within the limits they have set. That is the love they offer. That is the cage they dress in gold and call acceptance. And if you ever wake up, if you ever realize that their love is a coffin built for your soul, they will turn on you without hesitation. But when they hate you, that is freedom. When they hate you, you owe them nothing. You do not have to perform, do not have to shrink, do not have to bleed yourself dry to keep them comfortable. When they hate you, you are a wild thing, untamed, unshackled, untouchable. Their words hold no weight. Their rejection has no sting. Because you are no longer playing their game. You are not trying to be loved. You are trying to be. And they hate that more than anything. Because a man who does not beg for their approval is a man they cannot control. Love will demand that you compromise, that you bend, that you lessen yourself to fit into the fragile, palatable mold they desire. Hate will force you to sharpen yourself into something they cannot break. They will test you. They will attack. They will spit venom. They will try to bury you in their scorn. And in doing so, they will make you indestructible. Because every insult, every rejection, every sneer is just another layer of armor, another reason to keep going, another reminder that you have become something greater than they can handle. Love will make you ordinary. Love will trap you in the arms of those who want you small, who want you safe. But hate will make you legendary. Hate will put fire in your veins, will carve steel into your spine, will ensure that when they speak of you, they do so with reverence, whether they admit it or not. Because even in their hatred, they will never be able to ignore you. So let them hate. Let them talk. Let them twist their faces in disgust when they see you walk by, untouched by their expectations. Love is a chain, but hate is a challenge to carve out the better version of you. Love is a contract, written in whispers, signed in expectations, enforced by obligation. When they claim to love you, they are not saying, "I accept you as you are." No, no, no. They are saying, "I love the version of you that serves me," the version that does not challenge them, that does not step outside the lines, that does not force them to confront their own limitations. Love, in its most common form, is control disguised as devotion. They dress it up in beautiful words, in soft glances, in warm embraces. But underneath, it is a cage, a leash, a mold designed to shape you into something that fits neatly into their world. The moment you step outside of that mold, the moment you become inconvenient, difficult, unpredictable, the love vanishes. It rots into resentment, twists into disappointment, curdles into quiet disapproval. And so, if love is merely approval wrapped in silk, tell me, what worth does it truly hold? They say love is unconditional, but that is the grandest lie of them all. Love is given on terms, on conditions, each one unspoken, but absolute. They will love you if you behave, if you conform, if you do not step too far beyond the boundaries they have drawn. Oh, they may not say it aloud, but it lingers in their every word, in their every glance. The weight of their expectations sits heavy on your shoulders, pressing you into a shape that pleases them. Love demands sacrifice. Your identity, your ambition, your autonomy. It tells you that in order to belong, you must give up pieces of yourself, little by little, until one day you wake up and do not recognize the man staring back at you in the mirror. That is the true cost of being loved. But hatred does not seek to mold you. Hatred does not demand that you fit into its world, because hatred has no interest in owning you. Hatred is pure in a way that love will never be, because it does not pretend to be something it is not. When they hate you, they do not try to change you. They do not attempt to soften your edges or reshape your essence. No, they fear what they cannot control, what they cannot bend, what they cannot tame. Hatred is a confession, a declaration that you are too great to be ignored, too powerful to be dismissed, too much of a force to be molded into something safe. And that is why it is better to be feared than loved. Fear commands respect in a way that love never will. Love pleads, love negotiates, love asks permission. Fear demands. Fear does not beg for space, it carves its own. The ones who love you will place conditions on their devotion, but the ones who fear you will tread carefully, knowing that you are something untouchable, something unpredictable, something that does not yield. And in a world that seeks to shape, to mold, to control, you must ask yourself, do I want to be adored, or do I want to be untamed? Those who love you want to own you, even if they do not admit it. They want you to belong to them, to fit into their framework, to play your role in their lives. But those who fear you, they do not seek to own what they cannot grasp. They do not attempt to hold fire in their hands. They do not pretend that you are theirs to command. Hatred is freedom. It is the absence of expectation, the void where control once existed. It is the ultimate rejection of their authority over you. And that is why they despise it. The ones who hate you will talk about you in hushed tones, their voices laced with unease. They will analyze your every move, obsess over your every word. They will claim to detest you, but still, they will watch. They will whisper your name like a curse, but they will never ignore it. That is the power of being hated. Because hatred means you are in their heads, occupying space they cannot reclaim, living in the corners of their minds, rent-free. They may not love you, but they will never forget you. But if you choose love, if you choose approval, then you will spend your life as a puppet, dancing to the invisible strings of expectation, trimming your own edges so that you fit into spaces you were never meant to belong. You will move carefully, speak softly, suppress the fire that burns in your bones, all to remain acceptable. And for what? For a love that is fragile, that is conditional, that will evaporate the moment you step outside of their comfort zone. Love, given under terms, is nothing more than a contract waiting to be broken. And if you live your life chasing it, you will break with it. That fear is a crown, an acknowledgement of your refusal to kneel. Love will demand that you lower yourself to be worthy of it. Hatred will place you above them, because even in their loathing, they must admit your presence, your power. You must decide, do you want to be loved by those who will abandon you the moment you are inconvenient? Or do you want to be feared, respected, untouchable? I have made my choice, and I will never again trade my fire for their acceptance.